Yes, Trisha, Rob, Joseph Carolyn tells me that he served in Vietnam in 1966 and 1967. He says he was primarily aboard a Chinook helicopter and that he participated in numerous missions, including rescuing some wounded soldiers, despite not having the medical knowledge or training necessary to properly tend to them. He tells me that it hasn't been until recently that he's been able to find common ground with some others who shared similar experiences.
It was all 18-year-old kids doing everything, basically.
Veteran Joseph Carolyn is speaking about when he was serving in the Vietnam War, a Specialist 5 in the Army's 1st Cavalry Division. Carolyn tells me many of his memories circle around how young and inexperienced he and many of his fellow soldiers were.
But I was only there for a few days, and they said, no, you don't start out as a gunner, and they said, you're a flight engineer now. Well, you know, I flew in one a couple times, but I really didn't know what that entailed at all. You just had to learn it yourself.
According to the National Archives, more than 58,000 U.S. soldiers died in the Vietnam War, including members of Carolyn's flight crew. From his crew of 50 soldiers, 16 did not make it home. Carolyn tells me that he didn't feel the full scope of the tragedy that surrounded him until decades later.
You know, it's sad to say it's a sad of a loss. And there's also the feeling, well, better him than me. It doesn't hit you till 25 years later.
Carolyn tells me that he has since worked to connect with the loved ones of soldiers he served alongside and is trying to find a way for others to do the same. He tells me that many veterans choose not to share their wartime memories.
I didn't talk about it for a long time. Certainly the tragedy of it and the loss of it is a factor, but the biggest factor is you really couldn't relate to anybody. They didn't have a clue what you were talking about.
But that he hopes events like the commemoration of the 50th anniversary of the Vietnam War can help veterans and loved ones of those who served connect over shared experiences. Now, Carolyn tells me that one thing he has recently learned is how grateful that the families of those lost in war often are when they hear from those who served alongside their loved one. He says it's part of what pushes him to make it happen more often. Reporting live, Candace Hare, Fox 19 Now.
We are called to serve here at LaSalle, and any way that I can serve my community, I will do it.
For the second week in a row, LaSalle juniors and seniors collected donated clothing items Sunday afternoon.
I personally love the clothing drive. Always like to help out other people.
This week was different, as students also collected items for those impacted by the tornadoes in Mississippi. 26 people died and dozens more were injured. Many lost their homes.
I just want to say we hope that anything that we bring can hopefully help you guys out in any way, shape, or form, whether it be toiletries or be clothing or what the case may be. But hopefully I hope you guys feel like not only LaSalle's love, but Ohio's love for you guys and that you guys pulled through this.
This is the third year of Clothes for a Cause. The seniors hope to fill 3 semi-truck trailers full of clothes for Matthew 25 Ministries.
So it just shows how, like, when we need something in the community, we need something like to help out, the brotherhood just comes together and does that. And like service, like we're called to serve. We say it every day, like 7 times a day, if not more.
The robot you see here is known in the Price Hill Library as Rolls Royce. Its owner, 9-year-old Royce Lugo, built and programmed it. Now it can follow commands and walk with him hand in hand.
My grandma helped me with it, but it was hard, but it took me a long time.
Royce and a few friends recently stopped by the library for a programming session where they taught Rolls-Royce some new tricks. A Facebook post of Royce and his robot has since been interacted with thousands of times.
It's so nice to see young people coming into the branch and then interacting with other customers and showing that this is a place for minds of all kinds and all ages even.
I'm told that Rolls-Royce is more than a hobby or a fun project for this young man. In fact, Royce tells me his robot is his best friend.
He will play with me even in the house when my friend's not there. We will walk around the house and I would try to program him more, and he would dance with me.
not to mention an inspiration for a future career, as Roy says he expects to be doing quite a bit of designing and programming when he grows up.
And I want to be an engineer because I would remember that I made this, and then I'll think about the engineer